It's the morning of July 8th, 2017, Calvin cast iron in Peru on the River Road, a place we've been many times in the past. And we're going to an event that we've gone to many times in the past, but it's at a new location this year. It's at the Babbie, oh boy, every time I try to say this, Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum.
Very good. You got it right.
All right, the Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum here on the River Road in Peru. And with me is the founder, the founding father, Mr. Leeward Babbie. Leeward, how are you this morning?
Well, not too bad. A little wet, but other than that, hopefully it'll clear up here. We have a little bit of...
There's a little bit of mud in your path here.
It's not too good, but we'll make the best of it.
Okay, yes, it's been one of those years where we haven't gone too many days in a row without some raindrops.
That's for sure. I'm glad I'm not farming anymore.
Yeah, well,
it's been a rough year for the farmer.
Well, last year, as we went into fall and winter, we're getting into a drought situation. So a whole lot of us prayed for rain, and our prayers are being answered.
Yeah, last year I think we were 4 inches below normal. Right now we'd probably be 8 inches above normal.
And that was just this morning's rain.
Yeah. So I'd like to welcome the club this morning.
What is that club's name?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
It's a Champlain Valley
Association, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
That's worse than our name. This is Roger Dupre, a member of the club, and as I say, we're glad that the club could come today and tomorrow. In fact, hopefully it'll be a better day tomorrow. Right now we're trying to set up here for demonstrations and that, and so we'll see what happens. This is the first year that the club is holding their show at our place, and I just want it to be a success.
Well, the first year I covered their event was in Westport.
Well, you haven't been around that long.
Oh, yes. and then for the past, at least a decade or so, it's been at the Clinton County Fairgrounds, but it was at the Essex County Fairgrounds when I first started covering.
Yeah, and it was basically gas engines, right?
No, there were some tractors there, but it started off as a gas engine club, that's for sure. Then
that's
those
who
tractor
started
people,
it.
Those tractor people got involved, and
and now we also have equipment, and we tried to demonstrate as much as we can. Usually, I'm not too good at attending the show at the fairground because we're open here, so somebody has to.
So that's why you decided to
bring it here.
Yeah, so you could attend the show this year.
Yeah.
It's good thinking, Leeward.
Yeah.
But on this Saturday, there's a tractor pull going on in Malone, so that's taking away some of your...
at least some of the museum volunteers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I always talk to Dale LeBombard when I come here, and when I come to the Antique Gasoline Club show. And
usually knows the tractors, and David brought a few. Dale brought some, and
David, your son?
David, my son, yeah. He was hauling yesterday, and he was here at 6 o'clock, I guess, this morning. I don't know if he brought anything, but I don't know if the neighbors appreciated it.
All the noise?
He makes a lot of noise.
Well, let me tell you, the thunder that was coming through my place at 6 o'clock this morning, I wouldn't have heard a tractor if it was underneath my window.
True. So you probably can go around with Roger. He probably knows more of the equipment. I can point out mine. I got the H here ready to put on the threshing machine, but we were waiting for the rain to quit to pull the machine out. So we'll probably do that in a little while.
Okay, this is an H, not a super H.
No, straight H and original.
Original.
Yeah.
What year?
That's a 1949.
49, wow.
Yeah. It's almost as old as I am.
It's almost as old as I am.
Yeah, I know you.
We got to add a few more years before we get to you, though, Leroy.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a dozer out there. We were born on the same year.
Oh, okay.
I won't say what year, but I think it's marked on the dozer once you go by it.
Okay, when I leave here today, I just so you'll be aware of it. You're a St. Mary's graduate, so I'll let you know about this. They're putting up a marker in front of the school.
Yeah, I read that in the paper this morning.
Yeah, 2 o'clock today. So that's where I'll
big
be.
Celebration.
Well, it'll be a small celebration, but
that's good to have something up there.
Yeah.
I hate to see that vacant lot after.
all of our lives we've driven through there, and something has been there. And
Yeah.
Not since 2014.
That's too bad for how things happen there.
Yeah. So okay, this is your H, 1949 H.
It's the handy tractor. I actually can get on that one. Some of these international are very difficult to get on for old people. Yeah.
There's still room to jump up and down on those.
Yeah.
So you were a farm-all man when you were farming?
I started with a farm-all, but I was really a Ford man all the time I was farming. Eventually, I started with my Super C that I brought from Champlain, and it wasn't too long. It wasn't big enough, so
Super C wasn't a very big tractor.
No, but it did a lot of work at first.
Well,
but
yeah.
After a while, when the number of cows increase, the tractors get too small. So for some reason, I got into Ford because when I moved here in Peru, there was two old Fords parked in the tool shed, and either one of them worked. So I traded the two and got a Ford. It was the Golden Jubilee, actually. And so I farmed with the Super C and the Ford for at least a couple years. Then I started buying bigger Fords. A lot of them were used, but once in a while I could afford a new one.
Forget that new car, Ma. We're getting a new tractor.
Yeah, that's about it. So
let your wife know I was careful where I parked today, so she wouldn't come give me heck.
She watches her lawn.
I can understand, especially with this wet weather.
Being wet, yeah. So the sky's breaking a little, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, hopefully it'll clear up.
So if you put the camera on those two over here, those two,
let's walk. Come on, Roger.
Come on. I'll explain the ones that are.
All right, these are Dale Lombard's tractors here.
Yeah, these are a couple of.
Look like mother and daughter.
Something here. That's a good sized tractor. It belongs on the big farm somewhere. So yeah, he has a number of nice pieces. A lot of them, that's LP. Tractors, which weren't too popular around here. But
that means propane?
Yeah. And he got, I'm forgetting the name, but the high tractors for cultivating and that. He doesn't have them here, but he hasn't. I don't know why he brought John Deere's when this is an international place, but that's all right. He's got a bunch of...
It's an international show.
Yeah. He has quite a few internationals, so he does all right at the shows, parades. People see him around town.
Most tractors we're familiar with were burning gasoline, but I remember when... in our neighborhood, when we started going into fuel oil.
The
or
diesel.
Diesel fuel.
Yeah.
We had some people that lived in nearby that were famous that they'd come in the middle of the night and siphon a little bit and fill up their car gas tanks. So one morning, one of our neighbors, a couple miles down the road, had a
he siphoned the wrong tank.
And one of their cars didn't get too far after they put that in their gas tank and drove down. They didn't get very far away. So.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up. When I was at Cornell, there was this guy, he thought he couldn't afford the gas, so he was burning, I don't know, it must have been diesel fuel or something, and that, you couldn't see the car. It was all smoke coming out of the exhaust. It was running, though.
It was running, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, no idea what year this tractor is?
No.
Roger, you must know, just glancing at it, you must know, being a,
I was just probably
early 70s, all right. The 720, and this one here is a 420.
Yeah, they're
Come on, walk
a
here.
smaller version.
Come on over and walk here, Leon. Hard to get Leon to walk here early in the morning.
Yeah, it's amazing how long those 2 cylinders were produced by John Deere. You know how long, Roger?
no idea.
No.
I know we started.
I think they
Two
stopped.
cylinders when I was a kid.
Yeah, but I don't know. They quit maybe in the late 60s. I'm not sure.
I know, but it made that unique sound. You knew when the John Deere was coming.
Yeah, and I can't believe somebody sitting in that seat and listening to that all day. But that's a John
It was
Deere
music,
man. They're-
music to your ears.
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
No, what's amazing is why there weren't more farmers, and some did, but you're sitting behind that exhaust pipe blowing into your face all day long, and that's
another.
That's not good for your health.
No.
Breathing in that exhaust all day. Now they've got cabs, and there's very few tractors that aren't enclosed. And in fact, you've got all the luxuries of home in these new tractors.
All the orchards now, I guess, have to have cabs for their sprayers and everything else. And
That's a good idea.
All kinds of equipment in order to be legal with OSHA.
Yeah, and you can understand why.
Which is a good thing, yes. So a lot of cancer in this area, and I'm sure elsewhere too.
Yeah.
A lot of it was caused by the fumes from the tractors.
Sure, you're sitting behind that for 8 hours a day, and it's gotta affect you.
I rode a farm wall for hours and hours and hours all summer long.
This guy's only 23 years old.
Yeah, right. Half a century to that, you'd be closer.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right, so these are Dale Bombards. And these are not his pulling tractors, obviously.
I don't know if he pulled. See, we don't have a track here to have the tractor pull that they had at the fairground. That was a nice feature. No, they could have the antique tractor pull.
Well, you could get something stuck in the field out here, and they could take turns trying to pull it out.
Yeah, it could do that, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, we'd have a string of them right down through to the blacktop where you get traction off to pull them all.
Well, I remember I got an old painting. It's just a reproduction of something, but you have a John Deere and a farm all hooked to drawbar to drawbar.
Yeah.
Those were tractor pulls. That's what the.
I used to play around at the farm and doing that. I had that old OS6 that's in the line here, and had a kind of a new Ford. So the hired man and I got on the farm all, and the Ford, I started pulling back, but then he locked it had the differential lock. Then he started pulling me. Yeah.
That's not really recommended here,
No. But you gotta have fun once in a while.
Yeah, well,
Especially when you're farming.
you notice in those tractor pulls, they got weights in the front, so
Oh,
they
yeah,
go over backwards.
But these had low bars, so it wasn't a danger of
Right.
pulling the front end up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you believe that, right?
When one of these things starts going up in the front, they come up fast.
They doesn't take long.
And they show no mercy.
No. We all know people that have lost their lives.
Yes.
A lot of loggers and stuff like that trying to pull something out, and all of a sudden,
We used our Super C quite often for skidding wood. And that was in the air quite a lot. You had to be very careful.
Yeah.
And when it wouldn't pull, we went and got the old horse. The
Yeah.
horse would pull it.
and it wouldn't flip over backwards either.
No.
Yeah.
No, she wouldn't.
All right, let's go to this next one here.
Well, this one, I know a little about it. My grandson John has this tractor. They
Is he
just pulled it in the field here. Their intentions probably was to hook it up to something.
Is he a Babbie or what?
John Babbie,
Okay,
my
so
grandson.
You got daughters. You got daughters too, right? So you got daughters in addition to sons.
Oh, this is my grandson.
Right.
Yeah. I have two daughters
Right,
in Colorado. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. So maybe he'll hook it up to something tomorrow. He was supposed to bring his threshing machine, I guess, but usually he puts his case on that. That might be in the line there. So this is the extent of the Babbie display.
this is the leeward Babbie display.
Most of mine are in the line over there, and they can probably speak for themselves.
The tractors are going to speak. I can't wait to get over there.
These are probably used more for working than those over there.
So, right now, I think Roger knows more about the other line of tractors. I see there's garden tractors also. Then there's Leroy with 3 of his cubs and can go right down the line. I think this group here is David's.
Okay.
I know he did a lot of hauling. I had other work to do, so I don't know what he brought in. But he made a lot of trips. So can go through those and whatever else is out there.
All right.
Roger will be
We'll
with you.
put Roger on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
This is another 720 John Deere diesel, but it's basically the same as the 720 propane.
This is a diesel, so you don't have that big propane.
Don't
tank
have
on
the big
top.
propane tank on the top.
Any idea why somebody would go with the propane? Was it cheaper fuel or obviously cleaner?
Cleaner, and they say it had more power, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Well, nobody's here. We could
I'm not-
we could hook these up and find out.
Hook them back to back and go.
So you don't any idea whose tractor this one is?
No, I don't. That was here when I got here this morning.
Okay. Did you get here in time to milk the cows?
No, there are no cows here.
No cows.
No cows here.
So what's your farming experience, Roger?
Well, I was born and brought up on a farm in Swastika, New York, down Black Brook. And I grew up with the farm all C that we had, and a horse.
And a horse.
And a horse. And that's what we use most of the time. Took old trucks, cut them down for jitterbugs to pull the hay rake. Get rid of the horse, let her do something else.
So you didn't have a team. You had one horse.
We had just the one horse, yes.
So Swastika was a one-horse town, was it?
Basically. Most of the farmers up there had only one horse.
Really?
A few of them had 2, but they'd only use 1 anyway.
When I was growing up, my father was just getting out of the team of horses, so they hung around for a little while, Babe and Brownie, but yeah, it's a lot of work to hook up that. I look at spreading manure. You'd put it in this big long wagon and put the team of horses out and go throw that off the wagon by hand. No manure spreaders except at the end of your
Been
elbows.
there and done that.
It was a tough, hard life.
We raked hay by horse or the tractor, jitterbug, whatever. Handle it all by hand until maybe the mid-60s, or the early 60s rather. Then we hired someone to come bale it, and finally we got our own baler, similar to this New Holland here.
Okay.
And, ours was pretty well wore out when we got it, but I had to knot it down through a science so I could make the adjustments on it and keep it going.
This one here had its own motor. A lot of them ran off the power takeoff on the
PTO,
tractor.
yes. Ours was just like this.
Had a motor. I would think it's running it off the power takeoff, and let's go back to the tractor here. So people who aren't farmers would have an idea. There's this little bar sticking out back here.
Yeah, I can go around the other side. Probably, yeah.
Okay. That's called your power takeoff, and
Power takeoff shaft here. And it ran with a dry shaft like your older cars would to replace this gasoline engine here.
yeah. So you're putting extra weight on here, more stuff to pull. What would be the advantage of having one with a motor on it like this? That's opposed to the power takeoff.
Well, here you could pull it with a smaller tractor, or maybe even an old truck or something if you wanted to.
Okay, you wouldn't have to have the PTO.
You wouldn't have to have the PTO.
Okay, but so you have to make sure this was fueled up in addition to your vehicle.
You had to have something with pretty good power at the PTO shaft to run a piece of equipment. A lot of these little tractors didn't have the power at the PTO.
We had a John Deere B, and that's fine.
Yeah, B was probably the bigger tractor.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with John Deere. Other than the noise they made.
And let me tell you, that John Deere B was slow going down the road.
Yeah. Super C was slow.
Yeah,
The one we had was awful.
10, maybe, not much more than 10 miles an hour.
We
going
got
down the
about
road.
14 out of the international.
The farm haul was a lot faster, relatively speaking. So we try to keep the John Deere in the field and run the farm haul to bring your loads back and forth.
Yeah. Well, we usually had a truck do that. A lot of our hay was lugged in on the truck. We'd extend the flatbed 3-4 feet to get a few extra forkfuls or a few extra bales, whichever.
Okay, I'm going to wander over to your side here. And this is where, for the non-farmers, this is where the hay would go in. You picks it up, runs it through the auger, and the boom chops it, breaks it up, and packs it in there in good shape. Well, comes the bale at the other end.
It was adjustable, so you could tighten the bale up a little bit, make them a lot heavier. Most people preferred the 50 to 60 pound bales, but some of them went as high as 100. Took a real bull to handle that.
Yeah, that's
that wasn't my name. My idea of work.
I thought I would buy some hay out of Canada there, and they'd be with the iron, instead of the bale or twine, it'd be iron.
The wire, yeah.
Yeah, the wire. And you 100-pound bale with that wire, that's tough in your fingers.
Tight, and that really cuts.
Yeah, cuts in. You're trying to
Definitely wanted gloves.
Yeah, you had to have gloves when you're picking those up. And you couldn't throw them. You couldn't throw them in a wagon for rolls high.
No. A lot of those they picked up with tractors and loaders.
Yeah, but the 40, 50-pound bales, you could go out in the field and throw them 4 or 5 rows high, and
yeah. Unless you were skinny like I was at 100 pounds.
you got you in shape though.
Oh yeah.
All right, this is the John Deere with the New Holland baler here, and we're here at the Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum.
We had one somewhere in this part they call a Super 77, but there's nothing that says Super on this one here.
No.
I don't know.
Don't know, but didn't give any kind of a
The newer
indication.
ones are much lower to the ground at this point. They almost didn't have the top. They called them the hayliner. All New Holland, but they were much different. I guess much more economical to operate.
And like any piece of heavy equipment, balers were dangerous too. Lots of people have lost limbs and their lives. I know there's a guy in Coopersville maybe 30, 40 years ago who wasn't that familiar with farming, and he was farming, and he ended up.
Losing his arm, losing his
No,
life.
he lost his life in the baler. Yep. Yeah, but a lot of people did lose their arms, especially young guys.
Yes, careless.
Yeah.
In a hurry to get out to the local watering hole.
Well, just you just you're a little more reckless then. I think when you're young and you think everything is just going to be fine.
We were lucky through the years of farming. My brother fell off the tractor drawbar the last day of haying season, broke his leg.
Wow.
We were on the way home with a hay loader. He fell off the loader, ran over him, and broke his leg. But other than that, we were pretty much very lucky.
Yeah. Well, see, what's nice about this John Deere here, let's look at this one here just a little bit, Roger, here. It's got that nice wide place for the girlfriend to sit here when the guys...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You invite your girlfriend along. You wanted to have a comfortable place to sit there. And every once in a while you'd see a farmer out, a young farm boy
with his kid or something or other, yeah.
Riding on a...
Dangerous situation, though.
Oh,
Dangerous.
yeah, definitely. All right, again, we're at the Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum, and it's all part today of the... I'm going to look at your hat here. Look at me, Roger. I'm going to zoom in on your hat here because it's got it right there. The Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine and Tractor Association Show. There we go. So when I forget, I'll just look at your cap.
There you go. There you go.
All right, here is a little orange thing. Are you familiar with these at all?
Not too well. This is basically oversized garden tractor, whatever you know, for a guy with a small gardens and stuff like this. Vegetable gardens. They're easy to get around with.
Any idea who made this? Economy Tractor.
Economy Tractor was made by Economy.
Oh.
This in here, I guess you could even put a different motor on them if you wanted to. This has probably got a Kohler motor. You could put Briggs or whatever you had.
Okay.
They're quite adapted for those.
All right.
This, I believe, belongs to Lee. Yep, there.
Okay.
Duke, yep.
Okay. It's here. It's on. And looks like a wheelbarrow here. What is this thing?
A cart to go behind the garden tractors, basically. Now they got them more squared. This is more like a wheelbarrow than
Yeah.
Guy could use it as a wheelbarrow though if you want only one arm.
Yeah. 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 You can use it with the tractor or by yourself. And here's a Ford.
Duty with a Kohler motor.
It's got some weights on it. Must be a puller.
Yeah, I think he does pull with it. For a garden tractor, you got the wheelie bars there.
Yeah. So the tip over that prevents you from tipping over backwards. So.
Like I say, they'll come up quick.
Oh yeah.
You come up quick.
All right. So that's a Ford.
And we got a little tiny John Deere here.
Little Deere.
111. Which was a real popular garden tractor back then.
Yeah. Now normally when this was held at the Essex County Fairgrounds or the Clinton County Fairgrounds, there was a garden tractor pull, but not happening this year because...
No. This has got a little Briggs motor on it, probably about a 12 horse, 11, 12 horse in that area. Much better shape than the one I've got at home like that.
I don't see any mower on it, so I don't
No.
know if they mow with it or what they do with it.
It's
Just for display.
a lot of times they just take the mower decks off to play around the yard with them, shows and stuff like this.
Yeah.
They can get two side by side on a trailer where you can't with you got the decks on them. They makes them too wide.
All right, now this Chalmers. That's got weight, so it's a puller.
Yeah. This is probably 12 horse or something. Oh yeah, it's got 12. Yeah, this is probably 12 horse. Which again was used for small vegetable gardens and stuff like that.
You know, I just got thinking, St. Mary's Bazaar grounds, they put in a garden tractor pull area this year. So, not to pull you away from Leeward's place here, but if you guys...
Yeah, I'll have to tell the boys that.
Yeah, they do have a...
I'm sure once they get it going in good shape, it'll be known to the tractor Association.
They had a pull there this year at the same area as Bazaar, and it's available through the year if people want to use it. So
They've got one in Cherubusco too.
yeah, Busco Field Days.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they still have their horses, their pony poles there, but they've had a lot of things pulled in Cherubusco.
I know you got a bunch of yahoos up there to do it.
Uh-oh. Views expressed. Views expressed.
They get carried away up there.
Those are out-of-towners that come into town. That is not the Busco residents there. All right, here's a wheel horse. Are they still making those?
Yeah, as far as I know, they still are. There was a newer one down here near the barn that belongs to the museum.
Oh.
They use it to mow their lawns. Not too familiar with the wheel horses because there weren't that many around.
I'm not sure
I believe there was a dealer here in the area for a while.
Yeah, I know there's.
And I don't know if there still is.
Okay, now we got some big garden tractors over here.
Yeah, these are all museum tractors.
Is there part of
They all belong to the museum. Leeward.
Are you on the board here at the museum or anything?
No,
or you
no,
just
no.
part of the Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine Club?
Right. And I volunteer my time down here off and on.
Yep.
When I can do it. But I can't be 2-3 places at once.
You can't?
No, it's haven't accomplished that one yet.
All right, there's a big. The corn isn't bad here. You know,
No.
we got corn around my place that's only.
We got some here that just got planted last week,
Yeah,
just before it rained.
yeah.
2-3 days before it rained.
And the wet spots, every time they start to dry out, they get filled up again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got corn that's I'd probably say maybe 6 to 8 inches tall. And it's supposed, here we are, the knee high by the 4th of July. Here we are on the 8th.
Exactly. I was going to mention that.
Yeah. So have to be
It's an old saying, but it's true.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so here's a International Harvester, McCormick, Farm All. When did they stop using that Farm All name? Any idea?
It would have to be probably in the late 70s. Then it just went to International.
Yeah, I don't know why they got. Just something romantic about that Farm All name.
I guess.
Yeah.
The old tractors, they'd put them anywhere and use them for anything.
Yeah.
I think maybe McCormick was a designer of the tractors originally. Then
Well, McCormick Deering stands in my mind.
McCormick Deering, then I guess Deering dropped out and McCormick stayed with it. Then it went to change the name to International Harvester.
Now
Now
it's
they
Case IH.
Now it's Case IH, yes.
And if I would have had to bet, I would bet on International Harvester more than I would have bet on Case IH taking over International. I would have bet the other way around. So I think overall, when I was growing up, the International Harvester had a better farm reputation than the Cases did, you know?
Yes, and they weren't so expensive for parts. Case here was quite expensive for parts, way back then too.
We must have had a Case dealer in the area because my Uncle Ronald Castine ended up buying a Case. I can't remember who he bought it from.
Justin Milady, Plattsburgh, New York.
Okay. Well,
My brother worked there. He worked there for several years.
Well-known
Corner
place.
Oak and Tom Miller Road, not Beekman Street. Lower into Tom Miller Road, I can't think of what it is. Boynton Avenue. Boynton Avenue.
Okay.
I gotta think a little bit. A minute.
It's been a few decades.
I don't hang around Plattsburgh much anymore.
You don't get to the big city anymore, huh?
I'll go do my grocery shopping and get out of town.
Let's keep walking here. It's going to get noisy. There's a W4. Sounds like something you'd spray on your locks or something.
Yeah. Another gas job. They're all heavier, a little difference in the transmission speeds and stuff like that. Closer to the ground.
Now, I would imagine I never paid much attention, but I don't imagine new tractors have these pulleys anymore, huh? Because there wouldn't be much use for them.
No, I haven't seen a pulley on the tractors other than John Deere and the Internationals in years.
But you run a lot of
See,
things off those
A
pulleys.
lot of them now, they got angle drive off the tail end of them, and they bolt it on and take it off when they want it.
But you couldn't have put much corn in without those pulleys back in the day.
These were designed to run
The belt.
the belts off their corn silage there, corn chopper for the silage, and circle saws for sawing firewood and stuff.
Alright, now there's one that's a little high off the ground here.
Yeah, this is AV, which what they would call a row crop. They're higher,
Right.
adjustable widths on the wheels and stuff, so you can get into between the rows.
And get in there.
Set the wheels to the width of the rows you've got, so you don't trample the plants.
And a lot of spraying, I imagine, was done with this.
Yeah, this is probably a 25, 28 horsepower.
And normally the seat is right here, right behind the part of the tractor. This one here is offset. So you're looking down and you got a view of your rows, so you can see exactly where you're driving. So it's offset a little bit. Your seat and your steering wheel were off to the side a little bit.
Made it much handier for cultivating. You could see the row much better because it's directly in front of you. You didn't have to look over the hood and guess so much.
Yeah, once they started spraying the weeds, it sure took a lot of work out, because you'd have to go a couple of times a season to cultivate your crops. And once you're able to spray to kill those weeds, it sure cut down on the work a little bit.
Right.
You not only have to plant them, then you're trying to get your hay in, you got to go out and cultivate. And
Two men could end up doing the work of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Which made it a lot handier for the smaller farmers.
You guys are making a lot of noise, Roger.
What they call the hit and miss engine. As you can tell by the sound of it, as you use to power several of the machines that they had on the farms. This particular one here, you got it on a circle saw.
And no guard on that saw.
And no guard, or very little on the saw. You had to be very careful.
You have to watch where you're stepping too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing something I wouldn't do. I wouldn't put my hands on either side like that.
No, we wouldn't.
I wouldn't be doing that. When we saw, we'd have one guy on the one side, one guy on the other side, and the guy on the outside would be grabbing
one guy feeding, one cutting, and one tailing.
Yeah. But you got to put your hand across like that. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Do not attempt this at home, kids.
This is what they call a tilt table on this circle saw. Some of them had slide tables. We found the tilt table was much better.
Yeah, and again, so many people have lost their arms in an accident on saws like that. Don't take much, you just lose your footing and just, step in the wrong place, and all of a sudden you're heading right toward that saw.
The one we had was homemade, all angle iron and bolts with Model A running boards with a table in the back, so if you had a short block, you wouldn't get tangled up in the belt or the blade.
Alright, before he cuts his arm, let's turn and watch these tractors there. Let's go over this way. There's an Alice Chalmers. This here is a D15, it's called.
Looks like a gas job. Gas job. This belongs to David Babbie. This might be a 32, 35 horsepower. Kind of high, which is good for crops.
Yep. next door.
The case diesel.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought the case was a little darker orange than that there.
It may have been a little bit, but it's hard to match those old colors now unless you got the original a good
paint.
chip with the original paint.
Yeah.
Then they have the equipment that can tint the paint to the original colors. But if you're going to do a real good job, it's worth the effort, but it's expensive.
Yes, yes. This is the diesel. Alright.
This probably around 55, 60 hours.
A lot of room for the girlfriend to sit here.
Yeah, she stood up. But much easier to get on and off.
Yeah.
The seat slid, so you can get on and off easier.
And of course, the seats would get wet when it rained. Like you have to flip them over.
They didn't tip it up, that's all.
Have to plan ahead for the rain. Alright, we'll grab this Oliver right here. It's going over to my left side here. So easier for me to point the microphone at you. These tires are getting kind of crusty here.
Yeah, the price of these tires would probably run up to $200, a little over for the back ones.
I imagine.
Front ones aren't quite so bad. They're probably 65 or 70 at this point.
Didn't see a lot of Olivers in the farms. There was one in Shazy up by the lakeshore that had 4 or 5 Olivers out there, but I didn't see a lot of Olivers when I was growing up on the farms.
The Olivers, I think, were sold in the Malone area, but there was nothing here locally in Clinton County that I knew of.
Yeah.
They were good tractors, though.
Yeah.
Heavy, but they were good. Dependable. Which makes a big difference.
You were telling me off camera that there were 7 of you when you were growing up?
Yes.
7 kids?
All boys. The youngest one of us now will be 70 this fall. Which, the oldest one has passed away about 14 years ago. And he was the tractor man. And the next one younger than me worked at Peru Farm Center for 30 some odd years before he retired. So now we're all retired.
Oh.
I went to automotive, Don went to farm tractors, and some of the other brothers, one's an engineer, one drove for PepsiCo, worked for PepsiCo for years. And Gordon, he worked for social services and motor vehicle. He was the youngest. He had the job with the good retirement.
You work for those government jobs there.
But he was the houseboy when we were on the farm. He had to help Mom because Mom wasn't well.
Oh, okay. He was the youngest one?
He was the youngest one, yeah. He knows how to cook. I can cook too, but nobody wants to eat burnt offerings.
Here's a Minneapolis Moline, and this is a tractor that you didn't see a lot of in this area. This is more of a to the west of here, huh?
Yeah, western, Midwest had a lot of these. I don't know why they never sold well in this area.
Well, there's only so many farmers and so many tractors that can be sold. So
True.
I know just forget the number. Talking with Jack Dragoon, the number of international dealers there were just in this area.
Right, there was Dragoons, there was Sullivan Brothers in Plattsburgh, across from what is now the Sheriff's Department there on the Quarry Road. That's where we got ours from the farm, our new one. And there was one in Saranac, up on the edge of the hill there above the school on Shazy Lake Road. So that was a common tractor back then.
Yeah, and I don't know what Chilton sold in Ellenburg.
Chilton, Alice Chalmers.
Think so?
And there was an Alice Chalmers dealer here in Peru. A guy by the name of Joe Morrow sold Alice Chalmers. That's going way back when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, that's back when you'd go down the road. We used to have a little contest, and we'd drive from our place over to church in Coopersville, and we'd each pick a side of the road and count who's going to see the most herds of cattle. And
Right.
And you know, even though it was only 4 or 5 miles, you'd each have over a dozen herds of cattle on each side of the
A
road.
lot of little farms back then.
Yep.
Now they're all going up. The bigger farmers are buying the little guys out.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is the land still gets used. There's nothing
Yes.
worse than seeing a field that's got left and
Rode the brush.
yeah. Now here's a Ford. This might be Leeward.
Dates
He's a
back-
Ford man.
This
Go ahead.
dates back into the early 50s or probably even late 40s. Maybe 25 horsepower.
They're all low to the ground. They just,
Yep, they were a little bit lower.
yeah,
Easier to get on and off.
I imagine. Yeah, the Ferguson looked a lot like the Fords.
Right.
Or the Fords looked a lot like the Ferguson thing. I never remember which one was which.
Originally, Ford and Ferguson were together and they parted company and they built their own tractors. That's why they got rid of the Ford Ferguson. And they went to Ford and Ferguson. And I don't think there was a Ferguson dealer in the area.
Maybe not. Okay, another Ford. Got a side rake behind it.
This is probably a mid-60s tractor. Still a 4-cylinder, dependable, fairly economical. And this one here is automatic. Selective speed thing they called it. It's like an automatic transmission. You set it where you want it, now you work the throttle.
Now, you better be careful on the corners here. This rake is awfully close to.
Now, it stays where it is because it's fixed at this point. It's a side delivery rake. Could be a tether where they just roll the hay to get drying better.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with those because we did that by hand. We did have a side delivery rake after a time.
You did it by hand.
We did it by hand.
You went through and you
No.
didn't even have a dump rake to do it with.
No, we had the dump rake to rake it, but then if it had to roll it, because we picked it up with a hay loader behind the tractor or the wagon or the truck, whichever. But using a dump rake, you never get the row in line again.
So late did your farm go using the hay loader? What year?
The hay loader probably back into the late 50s, very early 60s. We still use the hay loader for some of it. We had the baler, the neighbor had the hay loader, and we had the trucks and the tractors.
Oh, that's it.
So
Especially
farmers all work together.
Yeah. The problem was whose hay you're going to get.
Right. We had the only tractor in our area that had a loader, front end loader on it. So we used that for a little bit of everything. Loading pulpwood and logs.
Yeah, and of course corn. I can remember when I was a youngster, we'd be getting the corn, and all of a sudden my mother would have 6, 7 extra guys to feed because they're all sharing time when they're getting the corn.
Right. Whoever was working made sure they had a full belly when they left.
Yeah. You have put out a couple pies and there wasn't much left. Those guys
That's
got
for
done
sure. Especially when you're like me. I could eat a whole pie myself without a problem.
eating. And you only weighed 100 pounds.
Yes. My dad often said he'd rather board me than feed me.
Okay, here's the Ford.
I could eat enough for 2 people. I still can.
Can you?
I show them where.
Well, you ought got to enter that hot dog eating contest. You're an endurance man, not a...
Endurance man, right.
Yeah. All right, we'll walk up here and look at this John Deere here. It's a 50. Don't know what year it is. It's a model 50. The battery's underneath the seat.
Yep. This is, I'm going to be probably back in the mid-40s. This is probably a single cylinder. Could be a twin, but more of them are single cylinder. Similar to a hit and miss.
You see one spark plug there.
Not a lot of power, but they geared properly, did an awful lot of torque.
That's just, you had two kinds of power. One was on the drawbar and, yeah.
Drawbar horsepower and PTO power.
Yep, so you needed both.
And much different, much different.
PTO that turned all your equipment, so balers and whatever.
Yes.
All right, here's some weights on this one. So I don't know if he pulls or just uses that.
I don't think he was this for pulling. Honestly, pulling it all well painted up.
Yeah. I put some weights on there to give it some little extra
traction.
Yeah.
You put fluid in the tires, which is somewhere around 7 or 8 gallons to the gallon.
Yeah.
And you added weights back here to keep the tail end down to get the traction to pull.
Yep. It's rear wheel drive. So.
Yeah. Back then they didn't have 4-wheel drive. Very few, some of the Fords did, but very few of those.
Yeah.
I guess that didn't start until mid-60s.
I wouldn't think so. All right, we can continue here.
Ford was one of the first ones to come out with 4-wheel drive.
Really? All right, here's a Ford offset Workmaster. Let's go. It's got the offset seat.
Similar to the International.
I think it was trying to pass as an International with the color.
Yeah. That may have been the original color, but I'd rather doubt it. They were gray. The newer ones are gray and blue. The older ones were gray and red, but I don't think that's the original color.
A lot of red.
Yeah.
Well, it could be. I don't know.
This is what German, so can't really read the sign.
Yeah, that's just been the dealer.
Probably was. Which would have been out of town.
Yeah.
A lot of these old tractors, people bought farms and they trucked them in from way out west.
You mentioned your hometown there, swastika. That's a name for, isn't it an Indian symbol or what?
Years ago it was the Indians, and then I guess the Germans picked it up.
Yeah, but the symbol came from the Native Americans.
Yes, yes.
That's where your town got its name, I would imagine.
I would imagine. I never researched that far of it, but I'm not sure if I can find anything in the books that would tell me.
Probably not. Well, it depends who the first settlers were and what their thoughts were.
And in our area, there were only 3 families: Wrights, Ledukes, and Dupreys. There were 13 or 14 homesteads, and mostly all farms.
Huh. The back hills of Blackbrook.
Blackbrook, yeah. Between Blackbrook and Redbrook.
I know they like their cats here, but I never saw too many caterpillars on any farms when I was a kid.
No, this here is a TerraTrack, one of the first ones that came out. I think that was the first one right there. That's the oldest one right there, I think. It said 1937 on it. First round, that must be the only originally.
Probably 37, yeah.
Oh, this is the International. One of the first ones. The
before in these little buggies?
Yes.
They're going to leave a mark on your lawn, though.
Oh, they'll tear the turf up in a hurry. Well, here you have to lock one track and the other does the spinning, so it just tears both sides up. Oh, not like a wheel machine.
We've got several of them here, including that big orange thing. Looks like a Zamboni to do the ice.
Yeah. I don't know what that was used for. Maybe road construction years ago. That's about the size that they would have had done building roads. Much larger, push wider blade, push a little more territory at one time.
Well, this is a sample here. There's more to see here, but it'll leave something for the people to come look at. We're doing this on the 8th day of July. And this year, the Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine Show is here at the Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum. And looks like the storms have ceased for a while.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to clear up. These old tractors are more a hobby, something like a race car, but the tractors are a little more economical. The race car, you got to have a big checkbook. Because there's always something breaking or getting smashed.
Yes, but even here, if you're a tractor enthusiast, you got to know what you're doing too, because there's always going to be something,
There's always something
piece of
simple.
equipment that's going to go off.
Always something to break, but they're a lot more simple than an automobile.
Alright, well, among the people making noise here, but not as much as those guys with that saw. There's this fellow right here. What's your name, young man?
I'm Brett Falcon.
Brett Falcon. I think we've talked to you before.
Yes, you have.
And you're making a, well, it's not quite a rail fence here, is it?
It's a cedar rail, but it's not a split rail.
Not split rail, yes.
Just around the garden, just make it look nice and more
Authentic here?
more authentic. Different herbs and vegetables in here. Most of the vegetables are down there. Pumpkins, squash, potatoes, cucumbers, got tomatoes and cabbage, beans, and a few herbs.
What are you going to do with them?
I
Leeward's going to eat them?
Leeward will eat some, but I don't know. There's always enough to go around, so.
Are those scallops over there?
Those are onions.
Yeah.
And right in front of them are some radishes that are a little old. Time to replant.
All raised beds.
I'm a big proponent of raised beds. It's much easier, and it just looks so much nicer. And when you get into the older people, like Leeward, raised beds, if he wants to keep on gardening, are the way to go for him.
Well, he's going to have to raise the beds even higher, I think, here.
Yes. Right here we have some medicinal herbs like comfrey and bee balm.
What are you going to do with those? Rub them on your elbow or what?
The comfrey is more for show, but like the bee balm, you can make a nice little tea with it.
Uh-huh.
That's one thing about herbs. Most of them you can do a tea with, which you can enjoy in the wintertime, and it's good for you. And once in a while you get a sunflower poking up through. And we have the hops, which is a perennial, and they just keep coming back.
What's growing up? That what's growing up the thing?
That's what's growing up the pole.
Oh, there's a guy up in the Angelville area that's got a whole field of that kind of stuff.
Up towards Moores.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I seen
Those
that.
are hops?
Those are hops.
I was wondering
If you-
what that is.
If you see the long poles, it's hops.
Okay.
Hops used to be a very big cash crop in New York State.
Okay. So what's the hop going to look like when it's ready to pick?
Oh, okay, now you're getting beyond me.
Okay. But obviously hops, we think of beer, and
You think of beer, but what a lot of people don't realize is that hops is also a sedative, and they used to make hop pillows to help you sleep at night.
Really?
It was said that Abraham Lincoln slept with a hop pillow. So,
And nobody can deny it now because he's not around to
ask.
So you're going to make it all, the fence all the way down here?
All the way down. Their scaffolding is in my
I
way
see
to
that.
finish, but they want to get this side of the roof done with the shingles that they're making here.
Yeah, Leeward told me those were Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum shingles up there.
Yep. Todd already made a few more, but he's going to have to make quite a few more.
So who plants the garden? Is that your job?
That's my job. I told Leeward and my mother is Audrey inside, that I would do it.
You mean Uncle Leeward?
Uncle Leeward, yes. I told him I would do it because they are takes them too long to get back up.
Okay, well I'll tell your mother you said that.
She'll agree with you.
Now, going down is easy, it's the getting up part.
Yes, that's the hard part. So I told him I would do the garden. And it was one of the things that when I was first here that I always worked in was the garden. I think a garden is good learning experience for little kids. I think all kids should learn where some of their food comes from. And a garden is a good place to start because they can do it right at home.
Yeah, and just get a little box and make their own little raised bed garden.
Yes, they can. And when you bring some of the city kids out here and you have them dig underneath a potato plant to find a potato,
They're amazed, huh?
they're amazed.
A potato in the ground.
or to pull a carrot or, just something like that. And with some of these herbs, if you have them, try them, like the chocolate mint, that's just one thing. You crush that up and it's
wow.
really...
We may have to grow more of that in the future.
That's not hard. An herb is a weed they found a use for.
All right, well, you're doing a good job here with your non-split rail fence here, but what I'm seeing here is you got rails coming this way, but your posts are going the other way. What are you going to do here in the corner?
The rails will be going down.
Uh-huh.
This rails will come and sit right on top of the other ones like the corners over there.
I see. There we go. He knows what he's doing.
That's the lazy way of doing it. I could put another post there and all that, but no.
That's a smart way of doing it, not the lazy way.
Okay, the smart way. Yes.
All right. Well, we won't hold you up anymore, but we did want to know what you were doing, and doing a good job. I got a real fence I need fixed up, so I'll give you a call.
Just let me know. I'll put you on the list.
Okay. All right. Thanks. One thing we have learned is that there's always something construction-wise going on here. Sooner or later, they're going to run out of room here at the Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum. We'll be making at least another 1 or 2 trips here this year. I did want to come up here today because it's the Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine and Tractor Show, and we've been covering that for a great number of years. And this year, instead of at the fairgrounds, they've moved it here to the Babbie Museum on River Road in Peru. It looks like this is just going to be an area to get some of the equipment out of the elements here and put it on display and out of the elements. This is a store. We saw this last time we were here, and we'll see it again when we come back at another time. There's a little building that we saw the shingles going up on. That's a little storage shed, I think it's going to be, for the gardening area. I hear the blacksmith work being done there. So if you're watching this, I'm going to be racing back to Champlain on this July 8th, 2017, and putting this on the internet because there hasn't been much publicity generated in the media regarding the Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine show being here this weekend. It's always that weekend following the 4th of July, and the Mayor's Cup events are happening in Plattsburgh, and that's the same weekend. So when you think of that in future years, the Mayor's Cup is going on, you'll know the Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine show is going on. Hopefully in future years their Facebook page will be more up to date and they'll be making this stuff available, but right now there's not been a lot of publicity and not a lot of people know about this, so we're going to rush back and try to get this on later today so that 5 to 10,000 people who were able to reach through our Facebook sites will be aware of this and spread the word. It's a nice day in the North Country, and there's always a lot going on here, and this weekend is one of those weekends that make it worth your effort, but all summer long this is a good place for visit. Very kid friendly. They have their events here. They give little stagecoach rides, and there's almost demonstrations going on, and real live animals to look at. By the time this gets on cable television, all you cable viewers, the event will be long gone. But again, we want to spread the word for the people who are watching this on the internet, which again we'll be putting our video on there immediately. But this is one of our visits this year to the Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum. We'll be back, as I said, at least 1 or 2 times to get some harvesting done. It's a great place to visit, and the Antique Gas Engine and Tractor Show is also a great event, so hopefully they'll be able to keep that up into the future. And if you're interested in joining the Champlain Valley Antique and Gas Engine Club, just contact the folks here at the Babbie Museum. They can put you in touch. I'm not sure how active their Facebook page is for the Gas Engine Club. So contact the folks here at Babbie Museum, and I'm sure they can put you in touch. So we're always looking for new members here. And of course, this is the area where Gordy Little and I visited before this museum came into effect. I'd seen an article written by John Ryan about Leeward Babbie's collection, so I called him up, set up a time, and Gordy and I came down here and did the show, and a year or 2 later, Leeward got busy and formed a non-profit entity and got his museum put into operation. A lot of volunteers make it possible. It includes a lot of Leeward's family members, but a lot of other people in the community that help out. And of course the Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine Club, a fellow named Tim Lincourt called up, either Bob, Ben, or me, I can't remember who he called, but he contacted us. Bob and I did a story when that club was formed. So we've been well aware of that club since its beginning. We've been well aware of the Babbie Rural and Farm Learning Museum since before its inception. So that'll wrap it up. Hometown Cable's look at this year's Champlain Valley Antique Gas Engine and Tractor Show. We'll be looking forward to next year's, and again we'll be looking forward to coming back here to the Babbie Museum before the year is out. Thanks for watching and supporting viewer-supported local television, Hometown Cable TV. We think is worthy of your support. Thank you for watching.